Dear students, we have already discussed various topics relating to the self, such as the concept of self, self-esteem, and self-identity. In today's lecture, I shall be dealing with the dimensions of self. There are five basic dimensions of the self: physical, emotional, social, mental, and spiritual. Physical dimension. The physical dimension is most important. It is base or aadhar for all sorts of work. For the manifestation of a well integrated self, the first and foremost task is to nurture the physical self. Physical skill encompasses those qualities in the body by which the body works more effectively and diligently. When one undergoes this training, one's muscles, limbs, organs, and nervous system develop a sense of harmony to do the work in unison. Physical environment includes the physical surroundings and their organizations. For physical well being, a neat, clean, and peaceful environment plays an important role. A well maintained place helps in better functioning and performance. The physical self is marked by certain characteristics. These include physical growth and development. Physical dimension includes cultivation of the right kind of habits and attitudes regarding food, sleep, posture, rest, and relaxation, etc. Sleep is an important aspect of one's life because we spend one fourth of our time in sleep. The number of hours of sleep diminishes with age. One needs to sleep in a quiet and well ventilated place. Understanding that sleep is needed to restore the fatigued nervous of all parts of the body is important, and therefore sleeping for a fixed time is a must. Before going to sleep, quieting the mind, activity, calming the emotions, stretching out on the bed, relaxing and loosening the nerves is essential. As regards food, gently physical health, physical fitness, and physical energy depends upon it. From early childhood, a taste for simple, healthy, substantial food has to be developed. One must eat balanced and nutritious food, chosen and measured out according to the age and regular activities. It must contain all dynamic elements that are necessary for the development and the balanced growth of all parts of the body. Food is to be taken with the attitude of maintaining health and supply. Posture is one of the most important aspects for physical fitness. Sitting and walking straight enable the lungs and other organs function to their full capacity, resulting in proper blood circulation and physical fitness. A good posture leads to the healthy functioning of all the organs. Strength refers to that capacity of the body which empowers the muscles in the body and enables one to lift through and carry heavy loads. Flexibility means the suppleness and plasticity of the body. It helps in giving body more agility and swiftness. It also helps in controlling an aging process. Yogic exercises and asana, gymnastics, and acrobatics also helps in this direction. Balance means finding one's center of gravity and maintaining the posture either in stillness or in motion. It can be achieved through practice on a balance beam, gymnastics, spoon and marble race, martial arts, acrobatics, etc. Endurance represents the capacity of the muscles and the nervous system along with willpower to take a particular load for a particular duration. It can be developed by isotonic exercise, pyramid and carrying load sandbag to a particular distance. Speed refers to the alertness of nervous system and muscles. The whole explosive power in the body is expressed for a short time through the limbs. It is particularly related to the motion of the body. Emotional dimension. Emotional dimension relates to the feeling or qualities that affects differently. Emotions are the release of pent-up energies or feelings of the individual, accompanied by internal or external changes in the body. Emotions involve excitement or depression or happiness of the being in response to certain external stimuli. Without emotions, the self would not be able to express its feeling. The infant's happiness in seeing his mother, the joy of being in love, the jealousy of being neglected, the anxiety in performance and fear of failure are some of the emotions we experience in different situations. Emotions are the primary motivational system of human beings and form an indispensable aspects of their being. Some emotions produce desirable changes in our behavior, such as affection and friendliness. Others may disrupt the disorganized and our behavior. Emotions are aroused when our encounters different situations. They may be aroused when one faces unfavorable relationships in the home or at school, or where the expectations from the individual is too high, or where the challenge level is too low for the individual on the one hand, or when there are experiences of happiness and joy at having done well, or at being loved and appreciated on the other. Poetry, art, and music are known to evoke many emotions. Emotional responses vary from age to age. In younger children, emotional expressions is limited for a few responses. As the individual grows, emotions become more refined and specific. Anger, fear, hatred, jealousy, and love are examples of emotions. Anger is a common phenomenon and is displayed by young children through tantrums, clenching of fists, kicking, lying with their face down, or crying. An adolescent reacts differently when angry. His face becomes red. Verbal abuse may be resorted to, and in extreme cases, a physical fight may erupt. The cause of anger also varies. In small children, anger results in their toys do not work properly, or if somebody disturbs their play, or when demands are not fulfilled. In adults, nagging, finding faults, teasing, etc. may lead to anger. Fear is an important negative emotion. Fear is learned in response to environmental stimuli. Loud voices, strange materials, or shadows may cause fear in children. Also, individuals suffer from fear of height, injury, death of particular objects or things like dogs, snakes, etc. Fear may decrease as the individual matures and encounters positive reactions from the things one is scared of. Hatred is a feeling. It can cause an angry or resentful emotional response, which can be used against certain people or ideas. Hatred is often associated with the feelings of anger, disgust, and a disposition toward the source of hostility. Jealousy is common feature between friends and siblings. It is aroused when one feels the other is privileged, whereas one is deprived of them. In younger children, jealousy often arises when there is new members in the family and the attention of the parent shifts from the older child to the new one. The child feels neglected and self-worth goes down. In adults, it arises out of comparison or constant pointing out of weaknesses. The responses in younger children for jealousy are direct and physical, whereas in older children they are indirect. Love encompasses a range of strong and positive emotional and mental states, from the most sublime virtue or good habit, the deepest interpersonal affection, and to the simplest pleasure. Most commonly, love refers to a feeling of strong attraction and emotional attachment. It may also describe compassionate and affectionate actions towards other humans, oneself, or animals. Controlling emotions. When people are unable to control their emotions, their responses may be disruptive or inappropriate given the situation or setting. Being unable to control emotions can be temporary. Emotional intelligence is the ability to manage your own emotions as well as the emotions of other by way of empathy. Empathy is the ability to feel an emotion in as it is experienced by another person. Very young children may not understand the feelings of others since they cannot see their responses as separate from their own. As one grows up, however, one begins to understand the separateness and responds accordingly. Empathy plays an important role in our ability to understand and get along with one another. Children who are empathetic are more compassionate and sensitive, and more likely to help others. When disputes arise, individuals may be encouraged to put oneself in another person's shoe and see each other's point of view, thus resolving the conflict. Integrated approach. Peer group learning and teamwork help in understanding each other's feelings. As a teacher, it is important to cultivate empathy so that one can reach out to the understand his students better. Low achievement and behavior problems like lying, cheating, stealing, and aggression among students are best handled by empathy. It is much more effective than punishment. Socio-cultural dimension. The socio-cultural process begins at birth and continues to expand as we grow. It is characterized by the understanding of self and of the awareness of others. This awareness of others begins with the mother, who integrated approach takes care of the infant and slowly expand to the other members of the family. The infant observes his surroundings. People try to reach out to others and interact with them, and thus the process of socialization begins. Through socialization of the self-gain experience about one's surroundings. Thus, the socio-cultural processes help us to learn the ways to receive the training that we need. In understanding the self and others, self-concept plays an important role. In school, we often hear, I can do this, I can play basketball well. These comments point to understanding of one's ability, feelings, attitude, ideas, and above all image of oneself. Social skills to lead healthy and normal lives. We all need to acquire a set of social skills. These skills help us to build up a relationships with others in society and also enables us to function effectively. Social skills are enhanced by nurturing a few basic human qualities like trust, faith, cooperation, establishing relationships, and respecting others. culture. Social skills can be developed through activities, role play, and games. Mental dimension. Mind is a wonderful instrument and it is fascinating to watch the functioning of the mind. If you trace the development of the mind, you will find that it performs diverse functions. In the beginning, the mind tries to reason out and solve simple problems. It slowly graduates from simple to complex concept and moves to abstract. It receives information and impressions from its senses and then processes them by organizing, analyzing, and synthesizing, and then finally expresses and communicates the ideas through languages. The mind refers to that part of nature which deals with cognition, intelligence, ideas, thoughts, perceptions, mental formations, mental vision, and wills. Mind is like a reflective mirror which is capable of receiving information and images external to itself and more vast than itself. It is an instrument of organization and formation of mental movements and needs nurturing for optimal development. Spiritual dimension. Spirituality is in its essence is an awakening to the inner reality of our being, to a spirit or a self which is other than mind, life and body. It is an inner aspiration to know, to feel, to enter into contact with the greater reality pervading the universe as well as in evaluating ourselves. The spiritual quest involves coming in contact with the aspects of ourself and eventually establishing ourself within it. Spirituality lies beyond religion and it is the feeling of oneness with the universal. It has no set methods but relies on universal values such as harmony, peace, beauty, truth, perfection, equality, and silence. Spirituality enables us to lead more satisfied, fulfilled, and enriched lives. It also leads to the development of a strong sense of self. Thank you and have a good day.